Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stop that right there. We're going to move that right there because we have that type of power. Y'all hear what peace is? Peace is! Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you know what peace is? Peace can do that all. I'm going to have that playing in my background. I'm at let's just call it the watering hole. It's not a water hole. It is a community well where we come. There is a connection for water holes. I have, because so many people break the water hose, I've donated a water hose. I'll probably go and buy another one because this one is wearing out. But technically they can afford their own water hose. But for the sake of the people here, I donated a water hose. I'll go to Walmart and get another water hose, or I'll probably get one of those kinking water hoses, the ones that you can't break. I'll probably get one of those and donate it here so that people will have it. And I'll probably get a larger capacity water hose so that it will produce. The well is pretty powerful, so it's just the gentleman has a 250-gallon container. And he offered me, he says, look, hey, if you only got some small things, hey, I'll let you go first. And I'm like, nope, you were here before me. You go ahead. I said, I'm going to sit up here and do some videos because these idiots and morons on TikTok and YouTube, what, you call them idiots and morons? You better believe it. They're all idiots. They're all morons. Every single one of us on this planet are idiots and morons. Every single human, including me, are idiots and morons. What, y'all don't get it? People, you don't understand how much of an idiot or a moron all of us are? Every single one. I ain't no idiot and moron. And the very fact that you say that means that you are an idiot and you're a moron. We are human. Of course we're idiots. Look at all of the mistakes we make every single day. And we keep making the same stupid mistakes. Is that not insanity? That makes us morons when we don't realize it in our own personal lives. So we're all idiots and morons. Okay, so stop taking offense because somebody used the word. I'm so glad my mother helped me to understand that when I was a child. Oh, mama, they ain't talking about you at school. Them people don't know me. I don't care what them people are saying about me at that school. They don't know me. End of the story. She didn't worry about it. Look, people have been trying to talk about me to invoke some type of a response. People, you can't do that. I don't care. Look, my mother didn't care, and she taught us not to care because somebody said something. So what? Somebody says something about you. Okay, fine. They said something. Big deal. People say things all the time, so let them say whatever they want to say. I mean, literally, let them say whatever they want to say. It don't matter. People are going to say what they want to say. They're going to do stupid things. Let them be stupid. Let them say stupid things. Let people do what people do. Look, everybody reaps what they sow. So let those people reap what they sow. I just realized he said he was going to be here 45 minutes. I have a meeting at 9 o'clock and it's 7:10. I'll make my meeting. I want to explain something to all of you. Lately, the last 4 days in a row, I've gotten 7 hours of sleep, continuous sleep. Literally. That doesn't happen in my life. Oh, well. And the sore throat thing, that's still there, but it's not sore. I know it's still there, but it's not there. In other words, I don't feel sick. I don't feel like I have a sore throat, but I know that it's still there. It hasn't left. There is something going around, don't know what it is. Now they claim there's a new variant of COVID going around and it's affecting California, from San Francisco all the way to Los Angeles, and I'm right there in the middle of all of that bull. So there you go. But they didn't say. They said that, coughing and sniffling and all. I ain't doing no sniffling. Y'all don't hear me doing none of that stupid stuff. Wouldn't do that on video anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever it is unique, because I've never ever had a sore throat that didn't feel sore to the touch. You know how usually you have a sore throat and you touch your throat and it's sore and you can feel it sore? Well, this one you can barely feel it. You know what I can't do? I told you what you needed to know. I'm divorcing America. I like that one. Okay. What? Look, we got a couple of things to talk about. So now that, how many minutes did I waste? All right, we got rid of all of those people who I don't care about. The ones that are only here to get ideas from me so that they can improve whatever it is they're doing. No, I'm not talking about those who are looking for remedy. Get out of here. I'm not talking about those who are looking for remedy. I'm talking about those people who are just here to take and take and take. They're leeches. I'm talking about those people. I don't want to deal with those idiots. I don't. Because those people are not helpful. They're not helpful in the least. Nobody cares about them. They don't even care about themselves. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the two things that I want to talk about. I have an individual that people don't understand. During the 90s, there were people like me around. And I'm going to take part of the blame for this. We were bombarding the courts with papers. It was called paper terrorism. They actually came up with a word for it. What? The Anti-Terrorism Act. What do you think that came from? Okay? I told all of you, a judge pissed me off. So I sent him, pay attention, 21,000 pages of absolutely nothing. I just took all of my papers and duplicated them and told them that there were 17 defendants and I had to make a copy for all 17 defendants. And the Arizona State Department of Corrections had to run their printers day and night. Sorry, that's what I do. Okay? They had to run their printers day and night. Oh, God, for the whole weekend, day and night. The printers did not turn off. They had to go through ink cartridge after ink cartridge, 21,000 pages. Oh, because an ink cartridge at that time only did 1,000 to 2,000 pages. Okay, can you imagine? And they had to do that for me because of my right to access the court. Yes, I did that because they pissed me off. And I sent the court U-Haul. I mean, not U-Haul, UPS. 21,000 pages. Do you know how much the prison had to pay to send that there? That's the games I play. They play with me, I play back. So when you all think that I don't know what I'm doing and don't know what I'm talking about, and I haven't been doing this stuff for this long, that's why they call me a threat to the administration. Oh, sorry. Yes, I think it's hilarious. Oh, man! When you read the order from the judge, oh God, he was he was livid. I am ordering the court clerk to destroy all the documents, blah blah blah, with the exception of one copy. 21,000 pages. Okay, he ordered the clerk to destroy. Sorry. Oh God. 21,000 pages. Of the 21,000 pages, he ordered the clerk of the court to destroy, pay attention, over 20,900 pages of documents. What? The original document was only about 150 pages. Whew. Man, hey, you talk about one of my greatest. I told you to leave it alone. That was one of them. I believe that was the judge I called a nigga. Yeah, I believe that was that judge, and the other judge wrote me back. You can't, how dare you disrespect one of our officers like that? You can't call her. And that's when I told her, you people may have invented the word, but we perfected it. And they never responded back to me since then. Okay, the games people play. Well, I have another court. Let me go to another song. I have another court right now that's playing games. They came up with this anti-terrorism act because of people like me bombarding the courts and bombarding administrative organizations with papers. Okay? And I'm going to start doing this more, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start doing that more. And I'm taking it off of the car speakers because I had the car in auxiliary, and I'm going to be here for 45 minutes. And I don't want to, I don't want to, the car stereo's always hooked to my cell phones. I don't play the radio. I play everything through the cell phone or through an MP3 player. I've been doing that. I had a friend who took the time to buy me an MP3 stereo system for my car. He worked at Best Buy. He got a discount, and he bought me an MP3 stereo for my car. And I've been MP3ing ever since. Yeah, he and I are not friends anymore. I called him my best friend for a long time. But, oh well, life goes on. Let's get back to this conversation. They came up with the Anti-Terrorism Act in 1996. And yes, there was a need to, because there were people like me out there. We caused a lot of problems for the courts and for administrative agencies. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot send whatever you want to whomever you want, because you'll end up causing yourselves problems. We don't just send paperwork just to be sending paperwork. Now, mind you, everything is papers. Right now, most of our clients are still in their homes. They haven't paid a dime on their mortgage in over a year. I have a guy right now has not paid a single cent on his mortgage and going on 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a temporary fix until they start doing what's right. Okay? We cannot guarantee saving anybody's home, not in the current environment. Yeah, a couple of years ago, 2012, 2011, yes, we could do that. Okay, but now they're ignoring documents. So now we have to go at them with their own statutes. We are still developing techniques to get this stuff taken care of. Okay, I have to let people know, hey, if they want your home, they're going to take it. There's nothing I can do or anybody else can do to stop them. Why? Because that's how stupid they are. Okay, literally, that is how stupid they are. All right, but we got some things that we're working on, some things that we are putting together. So y'all just bear with me because I ain't finished. Whew. All right, that was the first thing. In conjunction with that, there's a gentleman who I'm helping. The courts have blocked every single thing. I told you guys they appointed an attorney for the guy, and then they gave him a $10,000 cash bond. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. The Constitution prohibits excessive bail. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say it again. The Constitution prohibits excessive bail. So how is $10,000 excessive bail? Oh, well, they gave him an attorney. That means he's indigent. That means he can't afford an attorney. If he had $10,000, he could afford an attorney. They said cash bond. Okay, the judge, by appointing an attorney, yeah, this is me. This is why law firms were trying to hire me as a consultant. The court, by appointing an attorney, identified his indigency. And if he's indigent, then you know he can't afford $10,000 cash bond. The court did it on purpose, and we can prove the court did it on purpose because the court knows the law. And we go after the judge. We get him disqualified for that stupidity. But hold on now. They're blocking the guy from filing anything on the record because that's what he's charged with. He's charged with harassing a public official. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot harass a public official. They don't have any private rights. When a police officer says, you can't film me. Oh, no, no, no. You don't have no rights to privacy. You're a public official. You better get out of here with that bull. Okay? Seriously. Public officials have no rights. They are public servants. They lose their rights when they take on the job. So they cannot sue you. They cannot bring charges against you. This public official brought charges against him for harassment. You cannot harass a public official. They have no right to privacy, so they have no private right of action. No public official, no police officer, no one has a private right of action. No one who is a public official. That's why you just have to ask the question, are you a public servant? That's all you have to ask them. That's how you check their jurisdiction. I told you, it was the most powerful statement a person can ask. Are you a public servant? Ask that of every judge, ask that of every police officer, and then go from there. Don't worry about everything else. Then you highlight the fact, oh no, they said they were a public servant. So under what authority do they have authority as a public servant? Since when can a slave tell the master what to do? I'm part of the people. I'm part of the posterity of this nation. How dare you tell me that he is my superior, that he can order me to do anything? Wait till you guys hear the information about the attorneys when they appoint an attorney for you. You guys don't know this, but I'm going to keep highlighting it to you. When they give you an attorney, when they appoint an attorney for you, you don't realize the attorney doesn't work for them. He's not an officer of the court. There is no statute. There's no law. There's no code that says he's an officer of the court. The courts just say that. He is not an officer of the court. He is your officer. Corpus Juris Secundum, Volume 7, Section 4, which says attorney-client privilege. Oh, please understand, that's a policy. That's not a law. And that's why we do the suspension of power of attorney and set the authority straight. The power and power of attorney is yours. That's why it's your power of attorney. An attorney can only represent you under your power. He doesn't represent you under his power or the court's power. So he doesn't owe a duty to the court. Well, he owes a duty to the court because he has to obey the laws and stuff. Okay, so let him obey the laws. He owes a duty to the law, but he doesn't owe you a duty. Well, he also owes a duty to the public. What does he owe a duty to the public for? He don't represent the public. That's the prosecutor who represents the public. That's why there's a conflict of interest, people. The prosecution represents the public. He can't do that. Cannot represent the public. Really is just that simple. Okay, sorry. I just looked at my neighbors. Uh, I guess they're my neighbors. I don't really care about them. Oh well. Anyway, let's get back to this. When they appoint an attorney to you, he's not an officer of the court, nor is he an officer of the public. He is your officer. He's under your power of attorney. And that's why they can never, ever, ever give you something to say something contrary. Because that is just the way the law works. Yay! So much information. Now, that's what I've been wanting to explain to some of y'all. Now we got some more stuff, but we're gonna cut this short because we know how some of y'all get that glassed eye look and y'all be yawning and it ain't even 20 minutes and y'all be like, man, I got things to do and he ain't really talking about much. And then the rest of y'all, oh man, really? I thought about that, but I didn't know. Thank you for explaining it that way. That's really gonna help, blah, 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 blah. You see, there are two types of people who appreciate information because it helps them realize and figure things out that they've been thinking about, but they haven't thought about it this way. And then you have the other people, them people who don't appreciate nothing because they're too, well, I'm going to say it because everybody else is afraid to say it. They're too stupid. to realize the benefit of information. What? I said it. Everybody else is afraid to say it. I ain't afraid to tell you you're stupid. Or your actions are stupid. All right? Now, we're going to let y'all go. And I'm going to sit up here and get my water and put this on Tickamy Talkamy and You Me Tube Me. And then I got a song that I need to upload because I just wrote another song. Like to hear it? Well, you ain't going to hear it today. Gotta go. Have a good day. Arrivederci.